Now, in 10 days, it will be 6 years since Britain voted to leave the European Union, and those of us who closely followed what unravelled in the years following that vote have aged by 16 years. Now, I'm not interested in rehashing old conversations about leave versus remain, and quite frankly, if you're still banging that drum, I'd recommend getting out more. Personally, it doesn't bother me how any one individual voted in that God-forsaken referendum. You may have been such a hardcore Europhile that you had yellow stars coming out of your ears, posters of Michel Barnier lining your living room walls and Angela Merkel's voice as your ringtone. Or you may have been the complete opposite. You may plan to walk down the aisle to rule Britannia and have a tattoo saying God save the Queen on your nether regions, each to their own. But what I do care about is truth. And truth is something many people, Remainers and Brexiteers, used in moderation, to put it politely. And in particular, I care about this one truth. Leaving the European Union did not make us some inward-looking, migrant-hating closed shop. A post-Brexit Britain was painted by some as somewhere that would repel migrants, as if we just close the door on our way out of the EU and put up a big sign saying, "No migrants welcome here." And this was reflected in much of the commentary in some outlets. The Guardian echoed the words of billionaire investor George Soros, who warned that if Britain leaves, it could unleash a general exodus. CNN had this to say: best and brightest flee. A small survey carried out by the pro-Remain group Academics for Europe found that 71% of those questioned were thinking about leaving the UK in the wake of Brexit. I do note, however, that the Academics for Europe website is no longer accessible, so I can't actually get any details about this so-called small survey which showed this 71% of people wanting to flee after Brexit. Bloomberg also warned of the biggest foreign exodus since World War II. Now, those who said Britain would become a migrants' no man's land were all wrong. In fact, Brexit Britain has never been more attractive and more accessible for those who want to, through legitimate means, make the UK home. Migration from outside the UK, outside the EU, is at its highest, and despite migration from all over the globe increasing. A recent Ipsos Mori survey finds that the number of people wanting immigration reduced is at its lowest level since the Brexit vote. This is legal migration. So not only was there not a mass exodus, people from abroad who want to make Britain their home have never been so multicultural. Maybe, just maybe, the many Brexit voters who said what they had an issue with was actually open borders rather than having an issue with the immigrants per se, maybe they were telling the truth. Perhaps those who were adamant that this was not the case can learn something from journalist Janan Ganesh. He was pro-Remain, he's a Remainer, but writing in the Financial Times last Friday, he says that new immigration rules are making London more, not less, global. To his credit, he makes this point, and I quote, "Brexiteers always said that less immigration from nearby would allow for more immigration from beyond. The nation's global rather than continental orientation would be given room to express itself." He says it was the one promise Brexiteers kept. And he's right when he says this. In his words, he says if Remainers are free to claim vindication, so too on the narrow matter of immigration are Leavers.